What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Guys, by the title of this video, we got a super amazing reel in that I am super excited to show you. Saw this one at iCast and I was completely blown away. I think y'all will be too, so stay tuned. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed at the end. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you haven't subscribed, guys, get on it. For new customers, guys, here at Lake Pro Tackle, you can use code NEW10, NEW10 at checkout, save 10% off your first order. We really appreciate all y'all that have been putting in orders lately. It definitely makes my day a lot more fun when I get to pack orders and stuff like that. So guys, check it out. The Baits Hundo is now in stock at Lake Pro Tackle. By the time this video goes up, there might not be any left, to be honest. So go follow our social media, Instagram and Facebook at Lake Pro Tackle. We've got a bunch of cool stuff going up on the story every single day. I kind of run it like my personal account, honestly. You know, when we get stuff in, I post about it. When we get really, really cool stuff in, I want to highlight something, I'm gonna make an actual post. But keep up with the story. It's super fun. I like to interact with all our customers and the people that keep up with us here. So check it out, Instagram and Facebook, guys. But the Baits Hundo, now in stock. We're gonna be doing a little unboxing for y'all. I already took off the top cover here, but we're gonna open up the rest of it. And it comes in this very neat box. You see right here, it's got a cool design on it. Now, obviously, we're not interested in the box. We're interested what's in the box. So let's go ahead and take the top layer of foam off, and boom, right here, your first look at the Baits Hundo. One Hundo. It's a 100 size reel, guys, holds 14-pound line, 100 yards of 14-pound line, and is super amazing. So let me pop the reel out of here, set that aside real quick, because at the bottom of the box, you also get a little neoprene cover for your reel. You know, this reel is machined out of aluminum, completely out of aluminum, guys. So there's like no corrosion in it. It is super amazing, and I was completely blown away. So here is the Hundo, guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get behind the camera, give you some more looks on this reel, and get my ugly face out of the shot. All right, everyone, so here you go. I'm now out of the shot, and it's just you in the Hundo. So check it out. So like I said earlier, it's a 100 size reel, holds 100 yards of 14-pound line, and that's kind of the metric that they're going off of. Now, it comes in two sizes, a 7.1 to 1 gear ratio and a 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. So that right there is, we only have them in the right hand right now. The other one should be coming in very, very shortly. You've got all of your information on this bottom panel right here. You also have a serial number. Their warranty is super awesome as well. So you can check all that out, the warranty process, on their website, baits.com, baitsfishing.com. But this one right here, you can see on the spool, it'll tell you exactly what it is. It says Hundo right there, check it out. You also got baits along the thumb bar. Now, I'm gonna start from kind of this side of the reel, go over into the braking system here. First off, most notably, they have other reels on the market as well. However, this one here has a completely different type of grip on the paddles. This one, it's more ergonomic. So when you hold this reel, whether left or right-handed, guys, it doesn't matter. This handle is extremely, extremely comfortable. It's not super squishy, but it is very tacky. It's got a texture on it, and it also has these little indentations here. Makes it very, very easy to grab, very easy to reel. And you know, right off the bat, guys, it is extremely, extremely smooth. So we'll go over kind of all the bearings and the internals and kind of how this reel stands out above the rest. But you know, going forward here, it's got an 88 millimeter long handle, so it's gonna be a little bit smaller, obviously very comparable to other reels in this size category, like the Daiwa 70 or like an Aldebaran or something like that. Now this reel does have a clicking drag star, and you don't actually have to turn it that many times to get to lockdown drag. It's only about 4, you know, like quarter turns, fifth turns, and you're gonna be locked down. So it is very easy to go from lockdown drag to, you know, not lockdown drag very, very quickly, which I enjoy. You also have a clicking drag itself. You know, I'm gonna hold the spool here. There you go, you got some good feedback from that. And that's super awesome. Next up is gonna be the tension knob, guys. So the tension knob is super amazing. It doesn't have, it's kind of untraditional. It does have a clicking aspect to it, but it's gonna be more in your fingers. You don't hear it audibly, but it definitely has some clicks to it. Now I enjoy that because I hate when reels have clicking tension knobs, but they're like big clicks. You know, you go click, click, click. What if I want that half click? This one solves that issue where it doesn't have super big signatures on it, which I really enjoy. Now moving on kind of to the spool, again, it's gonna hold 100 yards of 14-pound line. Very easy to get your knot into right there. There's a little hole on the spool. You just stick your line in there and you're all set, ready to go. I really love how they left some of these CNC marks on the internal by the spool here. Now it doesn't affect anything. You can rub your finger on it, it feels smooth, but from a aesthetic aspect, guys, it is super, super awesome. I don't know if you can pick them up from there. Moving on to the side plate, guys. The side plate, very easy to get off. You have dual braking on it, obviously your tension and this external dial here. We're gonna pop it open for you. What's cool on the underside of this reel, you've got a locked symbol and you've got an unlocked symbol. You know, normally with other reels that paint would come off. However, this is CNC'd into the actual reel itself. So I'm gonna pop that over, that latch. And the easiest way I found to pop the spool up and get the side plate off is to just push up, grab it off just like that. So here is your braking system. Again, it's gonna have an aluminum framed outside, guys. It's got MBS 5x44 matrix brake system, and I haven't heard of the matrix brake system before, but it does use magnets that get closer and closer to the spool as you turn the dial up and down, guys. Internally on the spool, it tells you exactly what the line capacity is: 16-pound 88 yard, 14-pound 100 yard, and the Hundo 100 on the bottom there. So the spool, the way the magnets work is they wrap kind of around the spool part here, and it's kind of like a Daiwa SV spool where the spool itself, or this little piece on the end, sorry guys, where this little piece on the end actually pulls in and out, allowing you to get some more accurate casts and stuff like that. And it also doesn't have the spool shaft go all the way through. So I think that is super, super nice. I really enjoy that aspect of the reel. So we're gonna put it back together here. Make sure that gets locked down. Make sure you hear the click. And we're gonna kind of talk a little more about the internals and more about the reel. All right, so again, this reel I have been really impressed by. I've got one spooled up right here next to me on a 7'1" medium heavy rod by 13 Fishing. Now I've got a little bird lure weightless on here. It's about ½ an ounce, so it's kind of like a gravity bait. I was casting it with 15-pound braided line, kind of more like a almost BFS setup, you know, with the exclusion to the rod, guys. I can easily cast this lure here on the 7'1" rod, easily 50 yards. I could have probably gone way, way more than that. However, you know, 50-yard cast is nothing to be ashamed of, especially with like a weightless plastic. All right, everyone, I know the shade's kind of weird and you can't really see me, but I'm gonna be casting this Hundo here. I know I told you I could cast all the way to those blinds behind me here. That's about 50 yards, but I'm gonna prove it to y'all. I'm gonna make a cast and see if you can see it. So I'm gonna stand, let's see, right here. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm gonna cast this reel here. I'm gonna loosen the brakes up just a little bit, and we're gonna see. Yeah, all the way. Didn't even have to thumb the spool, guys. Extremely, extremely smooth. Now this lure, again, weighs like 3/8, almost ½ ounce, but it's weightless, guys. This reel is on a 7'1" medium heavy rod, and it's just an absolute blast to cast. And that wasn't even like throwing it out there super hard. I'm kind of just lobbing it, almost like, that's a cast right there. And that went even farther. I put a little more oomph into that one. I also did some skipping tests, guys. It skips amazing. I have the brake set, the external brake set to 7 out of basically like 9-ish. It goes to, it doesn't have a number 9, but it's basically like 9. I had it set at 7, and I had my tension set pretty high, and it provides extremely smooth casting, guys, and very, very long distance casting. So I know Tim took it out for a little bit. He loosened up the tension knob quite a bit and was able to get some extremely long casting distances with this lure here. It's also a great reel for BFS setups. We've got some brand new X-Pride BFS rods right beside me here, and we also have Corrado BFS rods, and you can check those out on the website, lakeprotackle.com. Now, the Hundo, I have not tried it with fluorocarbon, and that's gonna be my next test. With braided line at the ICAST show, I was able to skip frogs under tables and chairs on concrete very easily, and I reaffirmed that with this reel here that is now in my hands. This 15-pound braided line on here skips amazing, but fluorocarbon, I believe it's gonna be just as good. So I've done a lot of testing with the Hundo here, and I am super impressed with it. I think that y'all should go check it out on the website. We've got 2 available right now. You can go get them if they are still there, since I've posted about it on Instagram and Facebook already. So they might have gotten snatched up. If they're not, guys, I hope all this information helped you. You know, moving on, kind of how the reel was made. It was made out of a chunk of aluminum. Like, I mean, a solid chunk of aluminum, guys. This is kind of the rough block of aluminum that they run the reel off of, and they use a lot of aluminum on it. So moving on from that, here is a completed frame without the side plate, and it feels like a soda can. It is lighter than a soda can, empty soda can in my hand. Again, the reel, guys, weighs 5 ounces, which is extremely, extremely light. The reel has 10 plus 2 plus 1 bearings, which is super insane. The 7.1 to 1 gear ratio is 28 inches per turn, and then the 8 to 1 is going to be 32 inches. So it's going to be a little bit lower retrieve speed compared to gear ratio when it comes to other sized reels. However, I think comparatively it is a really, really good deal. It has 14 pounds of drag, which I think is very, very accurate. You know, some of the Shimano reels, like the Corrados, they boast, I think, 12 pounds of drag. I think it's more like 17, 18. And that's just kind of my take on it. I think this definitely has an actual 14 pounds of drag. When I did lock it down, it felt like at super high tensions, as I was holding that spool down, it felt like it was trying to move a little bit. So I think it is very accurate in the rating at 14 pounds of drag. You know, being aluminum, it's made out of 6061 T6 bar stock aluminum, which again is very corrosion resistant because it's aluminum, and it's not going to be easily scratched by just about anything. So no more boat rash. That's going to be a thing of the past when you try it out. Dual brake system in it, of course, CNC precision cut, 1-piece body, which is super awesome. You know, Bantam from Shimano is one of the only other reels that does that single piece body, just like this Hundo here. And I'm very surprised that this reel didn't win an award at ICAST. I really thought it would have. I was actually able to see this reel a little bit before ICAST at a tackle show. I was showing it under the table, like, hey, this is coming out here pretty soon. So again, first impressions, guys, this reel, when you pick it up, it is going to be a feather in your hand. Once you add line on it, it's still going to be a feather. When you throw it, it's going to feel amazing. And that is how I would rate this reel here. You know, I'm not going to attach any numbers to anything. Obviously, each reel is subjective to what it was made for. But I am extremely impressed by what Bates has done with this Hundo here. So if they are available, definitely check them out, lakeprotackle.com, guys. Use code NEW10 at checkout for new customers. If you haven't bought from us before, check it out. You're going to save 10% off your first order. And we really appreciate all the support, guys, all the orders coming in. You know, it makes for a boring day when we don't have any orders, and I kind of just sit around making YouTube videos and not packing orders for y'all. But I appreciate everyone who's following along on the journey here. If you haven't subscribed, guys, please subscribe. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time at Lake Pro Tackle, guys. See ya.